lesson we'll work on our IELTS writing task 1 structures and analysis, and we will continue our analysis with pie chart. And as you know, similar to bar chart and table, pie chart has two different structures, two different varieties, and they are dynamic and static. And today, for simplicity purposes, we're going to go through dynamic pie chart because it's way better and way easier than static pie chart. So as soon as you will be able to write dynamic pie chart, we'll move on to our static pie chart structures. And as you know, we have to start with introduction, and in introduction we have to paraphrase the topic. Let's just write this now together. Come on. So I'm not sure whether it's correct or not. Let's look. Well, it is correct. I was right, so let's just continue. That's fine. And as you know, in introduction, what we have to do is paraphrase the topic. So let's just paraphrase the topic here. And our topic is as it's written. Okay, now before paraphrasing the topic, let's just have a look at this topic itself. And the topic is the charts show the distribution, of money spent on music in 3 different years in Northern Ireland. So we just write, and we just have to paraphrase the structure. Now let's just try to do this together. And as you know, we have beginning structures ready, prepared beginning structures that we are going to use here. And the structure for pie chart, as you know, is and as you know, the structure given is a pie chart which presents data regarding is the beginning structure that never changes, and we have to give this the rest of this thing. Well, they said distribution of money spent on music in 3 different years. So we just change the structure. Instead of distribution, we say the proportions of money. Let's write here. Well, I think that's fine. I just said the proportions of money expand on, instead of the distribution, I said the proportions of money. So the word proportions, paraphrase the word distribution here. Distribution. Money, instead of spent, I just said expanded here. So I just write spent here as a paraphrase structure. On music acquisition, I just added the word acquisition because acquiring and getting music is acquisition in 3 various years. I'm not sure about the word again here, as I talked about this in our table structure because it's somehow redundant. I'll just write it here again. Redundant. And in addition, so I just said 3 years, and I just mentioned the 3 years again to get the highest number of words possible, and then just give the place in Northern Ireland. So as you know, we have to give time, place, and measurement. Let me just write it here. And after we gave time and place, let's just give the structure of measurements. And the thing is, so measures are given in or measures are presented in. It just basically doesn't matter. Presented in, and let's just look at these numbers, and as you see, it's percentage. So we write in percentage. So that will be the end of our introduction, 2 sentences, and set structures, and we just simply paraphrase the topic. And now let's move on to our summary structure. I'm not sure whether I will be able to fill this summary part here. Let me just try here, and we give. What do we give in summary? We just give 2 sentences. Summary overview. The summary overview, as you know, we have to write 2 sentences, and they are general information, which is trend. If we have we're working on trend. In analysis, simply the highest point mentioned in this part, the highest possible figure given in this part. And what we have to pay attention to is the fact that we can give better analysis, but it just takes way more time. So we just have to be cautious in this part. Depending on our time limit, we can give better analysis, or if we don't have time, we just have to just stop with the highest point itself. That's it. And we just have to try now the structure itself. And the structure is, as you know, it's just as you memorize, I hope. And this is structure is, as you see, overall. What stands out is that I think I will start calligraphy with this marker. It's a great marker. I'm just saying it like for third video straight. So overall what stands out is that, and we just continue what you have there. And now let's just have a look. And we have a period here from 2005 to 2011, and so it's 2005 and to 2011. As you see here, you have CDs, blue one, 61, 41, and 26. Well, there is a decline here, as you see. Concerts, 31, 23, 28. Still decline. Digital downloads, okay, 6, 25, 43 increase. Other sources, 2, 2, 3 increase. So we say CDs and concerts experienced a decline in their shares, while digital downloads, other sources, so a rise, right? So it's just simple. Let's just try this thing. I hope we will have enough space for this. So CDs and concerts. Well, as you see, I wrote CDs and concerts experienced a decline in their market share. Well, as you see, there's a decline, and I just didn't say it declined, I said experienced a decline, which is way better structure than simply saying declined. And in their market share, and the thing that you have to pay attention to here is the comment of in their market share, because if you don't say it, and if you say simply, well, they experience decline, but they cannot experience decline. They just can decline in market share, in percentages. That's why you just have to clarify it here. And here I just use whereas to contrast 2 points. And it's just good connector here. Well, it's good conjunction here. And there is there's a statement that should be made, and which says, well, you have to learn the structures, you have to learn these conjunctions and connect words to increase your cohesion level. And as I said, digital downloads and other sources, so I just said them, grew in popularity. Okay, I just made a spelling mistake here, as you see. So that's why I just repeat it again and again and again and again. It says the tense essay structure or whatever, that I'm repeating this thing again and again, which is please check your essay after you finish your sentence. At least check the sentence, whether you have problems or not, whether you made a mistake or not. So you just have to make sure that you have no mistakes, no silly mistakes that will greatly decrease, considerably lower your band score, overall band score. So I said grew in popularity because I didn't want to say increase, or I didn't want to say, well, increase in percentage. So I just used different structure, which is grew in popularity. And here, as a structure throughout the given period is actually optional, because we already gave this period, time period 2005 to 2011. Well, if you want extra words for your essay, you can just write throughout the given period, which means this entire period that they're talking about. So it's gonna give you like some easy cheap score that, well, word count that you may need if you don't have that much information there. So this is our first sentence, and this is our second sentence here, and the second sentence will start there. And as you know, there's a structure which is Well, another feature which is worth mentioning may be that, and you just give the next part of the template, which is the highest point. Well, the structure actually is the highest figure accounted for what? Let's just find it. Well, it is concerts. Well, in the first initial 2 years. Well, for what? CDs. Until. So I said the highest figures accounted for. Well, actually, it's maybe also a template, but it's quite complicated to copy. So I said CDs in the initial 2 years. Well, initial 2 years meaning that 2005 and 2008, CDs were dominant. I mean, they got the highest number until I just used like a bit better structure here until digital downloads took over in the final year, meaning in this 2011. I mean that so in the last 2011 year 2011 digital downloads had the highest number here. Well, this was our introduction and summary, 2 sentences in each, and I hope you understand everything. And after this part we move on to our body paragraphs. So we got the fatal flaw with the camera. I was recording and it just got turned off and I just erased everything. I just finished body paragraph, I look and there's nothing, and I just don't want to write everything one more time. I'm just gonna explain you what I did and what I was talking about in the video that I got erased. God damn it, it was bad. I'm really angry now. It happens with videos. At least 1 in 10 just gets erased like this, and it makes us heartbroken because I poured 20 minutes of my life into it. I just really want to swear now. Damn it. Wow. Okay, so I'm just gonna explain you what happened here. We were trying to write introduction. Well, we wrote already introduction and summary. We were trying to write body paragraph, and in body paragraph we had to do these 3 things that I explained fully in this video that it got erased. So there were categorization, systemization, meaning that you have to give things separately, because if you mix them up it's going to be really super confusing for you to write, for you to explain, and for the person who is reading this essay. And then we have to group information, which is giving numbers that are close to each other together. Imagine, for example, I said everything there. Okay, fine. 10.2, 10.3, 10.5, 9.7, 9.8, and imagine you have like 30 words, like 30 numbers like this, and imagine there's 5 words, 5 numbers are, well, you can give them together and you can say this, we're around 10, and you can just give 5 numbers in one sentence. This is called grouping, and we use this strategy to, well, reduce the number of words and to just save our time and energy there. Word numbers too. And comparison is just simple comparison, like 5% less, 10% more, twice as much, 2 times less, 3 times more, and it's like different way of giving data information. You cannot just give information directly. You can give actually, but it will not be a great thing for your I'm really angry. For your task achievement, so that's why you just have to do this one too. Okay, now I just said that in the videos that got erased, I just said that we will have 2 different techniques because we have 3 charts, 3 pie charts, and 4 methods, 4 ways of getting music or listening to music. And we wanted to give charts separately, or ways separately, methods separately, 4 methods separately. And in the first part I wanted to give charts. I gave charts actually. And the second part, after just talking about this body paragraph, I will talk about methods too. So, and I just started my introduction, my body paragraph with structures that we introduce our topic, and they were regarding. So let me just underline them so that it will not be that boring, because I'm just only talking, not writing. So they are regarding, concerning, as regards, with regards to, and you just say the year 2005 because the chart only talks about the year itself. So year 2005, and I just had two choices. Start from the first, go to the last, or start from the last, so lowest, and go to the highest. So I just chose the first one. I just said the most popular method of listening to music was through CDs. So which was true there. The biggest part of the pie is blue, and it just accounts for CD. And it just said the most popular method, the most popular way. And it's just didn't want to say the highest or biggest. I just changed it a bit, and I just said the most popular method of listening to music was through CDs, and which accounted for, I just used here relative clause, which accounted for almost a 2/3 of the entire music market. So as you see here at 61%, as you see, we had almost a 2/3. I just could say that, which accounted for 61%, but I didn't want to do it because it will be too simple and you will not get as high task achievement score as you would get if you use different structures like this. And you just have to learn such structures and try to use it in your essays to get higher score from your task achievement there. And vocabulary too, because 2/3 is just better vocabulary than just 61. I said 2/3 because it's like 61%, and as you see, as you know, third is like 33%, and 2/3 will be 66.6%. And I said almost 2/3 because it's like 61% is not 66.6%. That's why I just use the word almost to clarify it. Because if you don't clarify, if you say just 2/3, they say, oh, you're a liar, you're lying, and they just give you lower task achievement score. So as you see, we said which accounted for almost 2/3 of the entire music market instead of saying 61%, which is better for our vocabulary. And then I just clarified of the entire music market to get more word there. And I just continued with the structure which was followed by, which is a really great structure with relative clause again and passive voice again. Good structure for our grammar and coherence cohesion. Concerts, I just wanted to give the second one. Concerts, which we're using three which relative clauses in one sentence. It's not that great. Which occupied almost 2 times less market share. So I just wanted to compare information here. 31 is, well, it's not almost, so we say slightly more than, 2 times less. Because 31, 61, so it's just 30 difference, and slightly more than 2 times less market share, constituting, again, participle clause, 31%. And finally, I just wanted to give two last parts, methods, and here I said the other two. So as you see, the other means the rest of these things, because you have to Google it, the difference between, another, other, the other. So you have to know the difference between them. Two least common. So I just used popular first, and I just remembered that I used popular above, and I just changed it to common ways, were digital downloads and other two sources. So they are. And I said, finally, two other, at least you just have to go to Google, search what is other and other, the other. Two least common ways were digital downloads and other sources at 2, 6, right? And I just said respectively. And you have to understand the word respectively here, which means for each. Each means like digital downloads account for 2 and other sources account for 2, 6 and 2. And synonyms of respectively are accordingly, correspondingly. This is the entire body paragraph which I want to show, and I just get out of the way and I want to show to you. I hope you don't have any problems, you don't have any questions. If you have questions, I'm really sorry. It's not my fault. It is my fault, actually. I just had to look at the camera, and that's the first way of giving body paragraph. And now, after erasing this bad thing, I will just move on to talking about CDs, methods. Well, I hope everyone understands this part. So that's the end of our first body paragraph. And after this part concerning the proportions of CD, we have to continue. We have to give trend now. We say it started at, where it constituted, or it accounted for. So let's just say, let's just say the trend. So I'm not in the mood, I'm not in the zone, so I'm just gonna quickly finish this body paragraph and stop making videos because I know that I will not be high quality best version of myself because after this bad thing I just lost interest, and I'll just show you what I did here and we'll finish this pie chart, and hopefully in the future, in the next sessions, we'll look through pie chart in more depth, in more details. And here, as you see, I said the trend started at 61%, so I could just simply replace this with the parts that I gave in the first body paragraph, and I could just simply say 2/3 or other ways of giving it in 2005, and the set following that simply just connected. There was a decline by 20%, and as you see, 61 to 41, the decline by 20%. This word is here, great, by, you can just use by here, and despite this, I used contrast structure. Despite this, the decline continued until the end, 2011. As you see, I put comma both sides because these are synonyms, like these are the same things. When I used, again, complex structure, when it reached slightly more than a quarter, I just wanted to use better structure. Slightly more than a quarter, as you know, is 25%, and I just opened brackets and just gave the exact actual number. So it was the end of our first body paragraph. We will have more body paragraphs, 3 more body paragraphs. If you want to use the same structure, we will have to talk about concerts, digital downloads, and other sources. But if you want to utilize the first structure of body paragraph, which is giving charts themselves, 2005, 2008, 2011, you will have to write 2 separate body paragraphs for 2008 and 2011. I hope you understood the basic structure. If you didn't, leave in comments and just complain, whatever. So I will just try to explain it in more depth, more details in the next videos. So this will be the end of our lesson, everyone. Thank you for watching the video.